Okay kids, here we are with the first moto vlog with the helmet cam. Purple Panda lavalier microphone that's inside the helmet. And it's a nice cloudy day, 48 degrees, although the bike says it's 50. So we're going to take a short ride because it's not raining. And we're going to test this thing out and see just how it does. So being on the helmet, you're going to see every head turn that I make, the things that I'm looking at to make sure that I don't get killed trying to pull out of my driveway, and all that fun stuff. While we're going, I'll explain a little bit about what kind of settings I'm using. Boy, that's awful high. Okay. So this is the GoPro Hero 8 that I purchased, I don't know, a few weeks ago, something like that. And I've got it set for, I guess you call it cinematic or linear mode. I could do wide or super wide, which is a GoPro feature that makes everything look wider. I don't like it. It gives that fisheye look to it. And it's not really that good. It just doesn't look natural. And what I'm looking for is something natural that makes it look like you're actually riding along with me. So that's why we're testing this out. And my goodness gracious, who is driving like it's Sunday afternoon up here? Wow. Okay. Settings on the camera, I'm doing 4K, 24 frames per second. I'm also making sure that I'm using the microphone audio that's inside the helmet, and yes, there should be a little bit of wind noise. It is kind of windy today. I've got some other settings that will hopefully allow me in post-production to do some very simple color correction, make it look better. What that really does is make the GoPro work a little less and just capture video and not try to do any color work or color correction, that sort of thing. So I can do all of that with Premiere Pro in what they refer to as post-production. I bought this GoPro so that I can record my trip this summer when I go to ride Claw of the Dragon, Arm of the Dragon, Bud of the Dragon, whatever they call that stuff. And then there's the infamous Tail of the Dragon, which is located in Deals Gap, North Carolina. I'm looking forward to that. I rode it, I want to say 12 years ago. Maybe it was 11. I'm not sure of the date at this point. And it was a lot of fun. It was on my previous Goldwing, my 2005 refrigerator white Goldwing. Now that I've got the 2018 Goldwing, it's lighter, it's more nimble, it's much more fun, and it's DCT automatic, but shifting was never a problem for me, despite some of the opinions of my co-workers at work. Hi guys. The DCT is just fantastic. It shifts exactly when I want it to. I can still do manual shifting with paddle controls. It's the same type of a transmission that Formula One race cars use, so it can't be all that bad. So I'm going to turn south on Route 45 and go around to Carpenter Road just to get some kind of visuals here and see how well this works. I'm not sure if the music is coming through on the microphone. I have speakers in my helmet, and the speakers are playing Van Halen right at the moment, Running with the Devil. So I need to be careful that if the music gets picked up by the microphone, YouTube will flag it. One of the videos that I did very early on, just as test, I had Alice Cooper playing in the car, and YouTube went, no way, can't do it. So I need to be very careful. So I'm now on Carpenter Road. I think they call it West 19th once you get into Ashtabula City. And then I'm going to head over to State Road to my credit union because I need to get a little bit of cash out. Had my guy Phil cut my grass, and I need to pay him. He usually comes on Fridays, and he came on Thursday, so appreciate the early cut, Phil. I know it's been rainy and you're trying to work everybody in, so it's appreciated that you got my yard cut. And I will get cash for you and put it in the usual spot. And I already noticed one thing that is crazy with this. Already the bike is so comfortable that you don't realize the speed that you're going, but as I'm talking, going down the road, I realize that, oh crap, I need to pay attention to my speed as I'm doing 60 on Carpenter Road. Probably not a really good idea. So I'm going to slow down as the speed limit sign says 45. I'm going to try to slow down. Holy cow. I feel like I'm crawling right now. That's okay. This is just a nice leisurely ride. You see the temperatures drop down to 47 degrees. I don't really feel it because I'm wearing the right type of gear. It's not uncomfortable. Some people think that when you ride in cold weather, they're like, oh man, you're crazy. If you dress properly, you don't really feel it. And that's the case here. I've got the right type of gear on that will protect me from the temperatures and also protect me from a fall should I go down, because the stuff I'm wearing at least has armor in it, which is good. I'm looking over to see my sister's house. My sister passed away just before my birthday, and we're still trying to deal with all of that, the emotions of it all. My daughter Stephanie is going to be in a wedding for one of her best girlfriends, which is nice. She's up in Erie, I believe, getting her dress fit. So that's exciting. I know she enjoys that. As for me, I don't know if I'll ever get married again, but I certainly will not be doing anything to get fit for a dress. Not my thing. Sorry for the interruption. I had to cut away because I got a text message from Clay. Wanted to answer that, and you don't need to hear that conversation. So now I'm on Lake Avenue. Nice dreary day, as you can see. The wind is not much fun. The wind is actually blowing across right now. Feels like it's from the west. So it's a little bit on the chilly side. I can feel a little bit with the exposed skin around my neck area. Just a little bit of exposed skin. It's not that bad. The jacket's all the way zipped up, and I've got a little bit of gap between the top of the jacket and my showy Neotech 2 helmet. If you look down at my dash, you'll see that I have a blinky light. The blinky light is telling me that my tire pressures are low, which is pretty standard for when I get this thing out of the garage and ride it for the first time. The tire pressures do come up to pressure as you ride, which is great. And now the wind is blowing my jacket right into my helmet. You can hear it clicking. And that would be the very, very top part of the jacket, a little snap buckle that is banging into the side of the helmet. I don't like that. I need to figure out a way to tuck that part in or something. Doesn't happen a lot except when it's really windy. The other part of this test is to see how the stabilization of the GoPro does. It's supposed to handle it through the software and make the image really stable, even though Ashtabula City streets are as enjoyable as a rickety roller coaster, banging you around and thumping you. Just to be fair, most municipalities have really bad roads. It's not just Ashtabula. Sorry, folks. Oop! I hate that. I come to a stop and the light turns green. Catches me off guard every time. So now I'm on Columbus Avenue. And I'm going to cut across to State Road. Stop at the ATM. I don't know what it is about this crossing, but it is horrible. This crossing gets bad all the time, and I don't know if it's from all kinds of traffic or what. Bumpy. If you go over it fast, forget it. You're going to tear your car up. If you heard a little slight scrape there, that would be my highway board scraping in that turn. I can't make them go up any higher, so they scrape. As we teach in motorcycle classes, if you hear the scrape, don't let it freak you out. Just adjust your ride, which is what I did. I don't have a class today, thank goodness. I do have one next weekend. I like doing classes. They're fun. Gives a chance for people to enjoy the same thing that I do, which is this great hobby of motorcycling. This is one of the strangest intersections I have ever seen, in that different roads have the right of way there, but you just get used to it. This really isn't a bad ride today, so I do enjoy it. Hopefully the footage is coming out really well. I'm not moving my head around too much to drive people crazy. I've seen YouTube videos where people have it connected to their helmet and they do a lot of head turning and it just gets disconcerting. Naturally, I will have to do that when I get here to the intersection, just to make sure I don't get hit. I'll be pulling into Lakeview Credit Union. I'm sure I get strange looks when I go through the drive-through or the ATM line on a motorcycle, but you know what? I'm a registered motor vehicle. I can do that. So, I will see you again after I get my Mooney. Okay, my wallet's a little heavier. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to head up the State Road and head south. As soon as I bring my visor down so it's not so noisy with the wind. There we go. We'll take a little jaunt over the longest covered bridge in North America. Just to see what that looks like. And it's still a miserable day. Not even sure what today is, to be honest with you. I think it's May 7th or 8th, Saturday. I was really hoping it'd be a little bit warmer by now, but it is still motorcycle riding weather, believe it or not. It's amazing how much of this area has changed since I grew up. You know, in the time that I was little to where we are right now. Change happens. There's not much we can do about it. And I'll be back again in a second. So I got a text message from my nephew, and with Apple CarPlay being on the motorcycle, the Honda Goldwing, I can do voice commands I can respond to texts, I can listen to them obviously, and make a quick and short response, which is nice. And it's all hands-free. That's connected through my Sena communications device that is integrated into the Neotech 2. And then it communicates with the bike, which the bike has plugged in the iPhone inside the, I guess I call it a glove compartment. I was having that conversation with somebody one day and I said, you know, do we even still call it a glove compartment? I mean, that's really what it was called for decades. I don't know what we call it now. Is it just a storage pocket? I don't know. But anyway, I call it a glove compartment. Sorry. So it's sitting in there. I can even take phone calls and have conversations. And the nice part is I can listen to music. I can use Apple Maps, and that gives me GPS control. Even though the motorcycle has built-in GPS, I like to use the built-in GPS every once in a while. No. So here we are. We're going through the longest covered bridge in North America, the Smolen Gulf Bridge. It is really neat, actually. I do like it. And it's fun to ride across. Just have to be careful. When they first put it in, it was really slippery. Not much fun for motorcycles. But now it's good. I think they did something to make it a little tackier or grittier. And I haven't been through this intersection since they've changed it to a complete four-way stop. So, somebody's having a funeral. That's another thing in life that happens. Funerals. So I'll keep going here, and I'm going to cut across on Seven Hills Road over to Jefferson Road, I think it is. How quick I forget. I just don't pay attention to the names of the roads anymore. There was a time when I could give directions to places off the top of my head, know all the roads, how many roads it took to count before you had to make a turn, left or right, all that fun stuff. GPS has spoiled me. Car to the left, wheels are rolling. Stop rolling, wheels. Oh, this track looks wonderful. All right. And here we go, 35 ding dong, so slow your butt down. So getting back to the terminology such as glove compartment, some of you folks who are around my age group, what other things do we call stuff that the younger generations have no clue what they're hearing? And I've run into that a lot. When I direct shows, one of the things that comes up is my frame of reference for slapstick and comedy type things where it's very physical is to refer to the Keystone Cops. And there's nothing more fun than sitting there going, come on, I want you to do like the Keystone Cops. And you have a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds staring at you going, huh? They have no idea. That kind of comedy was prevalent for so long, and I do enjoy the slapstick type. At least some people know what slapstick is. They've heard of that. They may not be very familiar with it. I think that's something that's just gone away, that slapstick's not as common anymore, and that's a shame because it's great comedy. So there's going to be an announcement from Arlene's Broadway on Buffalo that the next show coming up will be Burger Town It's one that we have in the bank that we want to do again. There's going to be some interesting details about this show this time. We'll set dates for auditions and when the performance dates are, and Clay will be the director. But that's all I'm going to divulge at this time because Clay's going to make the announcement. But it should be no surprise that we're going to do a show that we've already paid for at the theater. So we have the rights to it. And I really hope this microphone isn't picking up the music because Metallica's on now and they really don't like their music being shared. Remember the Kaza lawsuit eons ago. Alright, car, stay in your own lane. That was brilliant. Alright, so here we are at Jefferson Road. I try not to angle too much because that's quite a head turn. Looks like it's good. This is a fun road to ride. And then I'm going to head home. I'll take West Avenue. So for those of you that haven't had the fun and pleasure of riding on West Avenue, where they've reconfigured it for the bike path, the very controversial bike path, you'll get to see it. I truly have no problem with the bike path, really. I understand why it's been done. I understand the reasonings behind it. I go back to that thing I said earlier. People just don't like change. Metro parks in other areas of the state and even other states, they're very popular. People like them. I really like what they do at Presque Isle State Park with all of the paths for bikers, walkers, even the inline skates, runners, the whole thing. It gives them an area that's all theirs. So I see the value in trying to do that here to encourage people to use the Ashtabula Metro Parks. I get that. I think it's very important. We've got some great scenery here. But people who drive the roads find it horribly inconvenient to go from 2 lanes to 1 in favor of that damn bike path. Curse it. Ashtabula County, the reality is that we have a very strong tourist industry. And if that's another drawing point to bring people from out of the area here to Ashtabula County to enjoy the sights, sounds, and scenery and wineries, then I'm all for it. I'm fine with going down to 1 lane in each direction. Change happens, people. It's like this whole section here. There weren't a lot of complaints when this bridge went in because now they don't have to wait for railroad cars and trains and all that stuff. That was a change. But the majority thought it was a good one. Now you add a bike lane. There aren't that many bikes. Doesn't matter. It's there. People can use it if they wish to. And they will. And I hope that some of the people around here don't make it miserable for them. Oh, look at the pretty balloons. Lovely. been a while since I've been in this intersection too. A Kia. That's actually kind of pretty. It looks a little bit like a fancy Honda. I'm sure Kia would love hearing that. If you see my glove, I apologize. My nose itched. All right, here we go. Los Compadres. I haven't been there in a while. It's time to go back. My harem and girls, you know who you are. It's time to go back to Los Compadres. We need to have a margarita night. See, this isn't so bad. People just like to complain about stuff. You can still go down the road. My goodness. Pet friendly. I apologize to all the vehicles that their license plates are showing up in my little jaunt here. Not trying to call anyone out or single anybody out or whatever. Just the nature of a GoPro. I have no idea what he picked up and threw over the side. Didn't get a good look at it. This looks really good over here. They cleaned that up pretty nicely. So as we're coming up here, anyone know what's going on with Moyes? I had heard that she wants to retire, but I'm not sure if she's trying to sell it. I'm not sure if it's still open. I do enjoy the food there. And I haven't tried the new place here, and unfortunately I didn't try the place that was there before. They opened a restaurant there, and boy, the timing was pitiful, unfortunately. This whole COVID thing, regardless of what you think about it, it affected everyone. So I'm nearing the end of my journey, and I'm going to look down real quick and see, is it still on and recording? It sure is. There we go. I was concerned that the bike wasn't going to trip the signal. It did. I won't talk about what I think of this road condition, but I think you'll notice by the way that I am traveling on it that I am not thrilled with its condition. And of course it leads to one of the tourist areas in town. Oh, look at the cuts in the road here. They're going to be doing a bunch of road work or utility work. So everything's going to be all tore up. Note to self, stay off this road coming up. And the sun comes out in the harbor. I need to go get a banana split. Harbor Frosty makes incredible banana splits. Looks like they've been doing some of this work here. I wasn't truly aware of that actually, because again, I don't come this way a whole lot. Alright. It looks like a lot of people aren't coming this direction. Usually there's a lot of traffic on this road, but it looks like they're avoiding it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt and listened to me babble on. That's one of the things I like to do, is just talk. Except when it's to an actual person. Go figure, right? I clam up and get shy. But talking like this, when I can just say some things without the feedback, not that feedback's not good or bad or anything else, I'll be doing a lot more of these, and I'll pick some kind of a subject matter to talk about. I'll try to be nice about things. Those of you that know me know I can be sarcastic, and I don't want to say rag on things, but I have opinions. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to take the time to edit this and hopefully have it up sometime today. So have a great day. Hopefully the weather will warm up real soon, and we'll talk to you again sometime.